And Forrest Saunders standing in front of the state capitol, where inside Governor Ron DeSantis mulling whether or not to sign a bill that would heavily regulate the hemp industry, and critics say essentially kill it.
It was back in 2019. Hemp shops were hopeful state regulation would help customer interest.
It's just be a matter of anytime something's regulated, they're going to feel more comfortable.
But 5 years later, a different story. Lawmakers in March approved this, SB 1698.
64 yeas, 48 nays, Mr. Speaker.
Sure, the bill passes.
If signed by the governor, it bans the sale of products with cannabinoids Delta 8 and limits those with Delta 9. It's the stuff that in large amounts can get users high, but also essentially the active ingredient for so many products.
The caps that they're putting in place would effectively ban 98% of the products that are on the Florida market.
David Charles is the co-founder of hemp startup Mood and says the change may force his company out of Florida.
I think the ban that they're putting in place would be akin to banning most liquor that's on the market and saying, okay, you can only have beer that's, 1.5% beer.
He is far from alone. Many connected to the state's estimated $10 billion industry say thousands of jobs and millions in tax revenue are at stake. Alex Petrick with Florida Hemp Distribution is another.
I wouldn't say it would kill our business. It will dramatically hurt our business.
He's already coming up with contingencies, like moving more operations online and selling products from out of state to avoid the restrictions, or just using other unrestricted cannabinoids in his products.
All that's being created here are barriers for Florida retailers to be able to sell these products to Florida consumers.
For supporters of the change, the regulations are needed to stop what they consider a dangerous circumvention of Florida's marijuana laws.
The bill of goods that we were sold by the hemp industry in 2018 is not the bill of goods that they're selling us now.
Rep. Tommy Gregory helped advance the bill this session. He told us it was time to close what he thought were loopholes in the law.
They can produce rope, they can produce shoes, they can produce clothing. Again, a product that's been around 10,000 years. They know what they can do with it besides chemicals that make people high. We're just asked that they do that.
DeSantis gets to choose whether to make the restrictions a reality in the coming days. And while there is speculation he'll veto, his office isn't tipping its hand when asked to comment. But if DeSantis does sign, the changes take effect October of this year.
Another thing to consider here is what happens on the federal level. Congress right now is working on a new farm bill, and it has an amendment which is essentially a much broader ban on hemp cannabinoids than what Florida is considering. And industry insiders say if that goes through along with Florida's bill, well, the industry is effectively kaput. That's the latest out here at the state capitol. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.